Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 14th of January 2021. So yield surge has stunned traders, learned Biden to propose massive 2 trillion stimulus. I don't know why they're stunned by this. I actually mentioned this yesterday or the day before, certainly this week, if not before as well, numerous times, about this is exactly what the Democrats are going to do. The Democrats, the equivalent of the UK Labour Party socialist movement, it is what they do, and they're going to print like it's never been printed before. No bones about that one at all. It'll be interesting to see as well. Let's just read this bit. The Biden team is taking a shoot for the moon. That's interesting, isn't it? We've heard that phrase recently in the UK, moon shoot approach with the package. It won't work. It didn't work in March. They printed 6 trillion. 4 trillion went into the central banks around the globe to refund dollars. 2 trillion went into the economy. They printed 1.4 trillion in between Christmas and New Year, and now they want another 2 trillion. As I've said before, it never ends. It never will end until the system collapses, and they're going to continue to do this. The problem is this: that if when yields surge, the interest payments are going to go up. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to pull this off. It really is. Yeah, I mean, this is the Twilight Zone 2.0. It's the same administration under Obama. He doubled the debt. Every president has doubled the debt under their watch, including Trump. Well, actually, Trump didn't double the debt because he printed 6 trillion. I don't know. You tell you what, there's that much of it now. It's difficult to actually work out who's printed what. It just never seems to end. And this is the end goal, or the end game, whichever you prefer. And this is coming to a country near you. Fed President, we should have a discussion about guaranteed basic income. And that's what this is about here. This is about 2 trillion, again, giving the American people money. And this is how it's going to end up. There's no doubts about it. You know, lounging around, being paid to stay at home. The guaranteed basic income discussion is an important one. I think that the conversation is one we should continue to have and think about. It won't only be thought about, they're already doing it, and they're going to do more and more of it, but they'll do it with a digital dollar. So they've got complete control over everything that you actually do. It's called helicopter money. It's been talked about for years, and now there is a chance to actually do it under this man. He's in. And that's what's coming, the complete destruction of the US. That's what it is. And that's going to be an interesting one to watch. I'll tell you now, especially once the yields start to surge. It happened on I think it was the 17th of September 2019 when the repo market spiked at 10%. And that was the other reason why they had to print billions every night to keep the repo market going. So it's just a matter of time. It's insanity on steroids. It really is. I've never seen anything like it, but then why should I be surprised? I mean, it's been on the cards for years, but I think, you know, once you start to see it accelerate, then it becomes very interesting to watch it unfold. It really is. Get the popcorn ready. It's going to be an interesting year. Anyway, on another note, implied volatility down from 1789 to 1737 yesterday, and we'll come to that in just a moment as well. And there you can see the implied dropping. I forgot to change the colour in this. It should be green, not red. Slightly sidetracked there. News today, or economic news today. Fed Chair Powell speaking at 5:30 p.m. there. And then I just need to bring this to your attention. Most important thing, I suppose, in a sense, which I've completely forgotten about, is this. No, it isn't that one either. Let's try. There we go. Trump impeached for a historic second time over deadly riots in Capitol. Incredible, isn't it? Antifa can wreck every town, city, and whatever. And then this one event, and Trump is impeached. You can see how sinister this lot is. I'm not a fan of any politician. I have no respect for any politician whatsoever. Apolitical. I am not interested. They're all interested in their own self-importance. The narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths. no interest. But this double standard from the left is blatant, incredible, absolutely incredible. I suppose it won't be long before there's war with Iran as well under the Dems. Now the deep state are back him as well. Anyway, enough of a rant, but that's the background of what we've got. Let's start off with the DAX. We can see here that we're starting to move back to the upside once more at the 62% retracement of these fibs on the news that Trump has been impeached. It doesn't really move the market a great deal. It was inevitable anyway that it was going to happen. So the DAX and everything free to move to the upside from the open. Let's have a look at the overnight. Just compress everything down and move over. Let's have a look. So we started off okay, moving high from the previous day's close and the 200 MA, and until we got to the early hours of the morning where the market is traded through, but we see them soon buy this back. This must have been when the announcement came about the impeachment, and now the market's moving higher, bouncing off the 200 MA there. Also above the previous day's high as well, so free to move to the upside, and you'll see the R3 above here as well at a new all-time high. No, that's not a new all-time high, is it? 14,107. I think we're higher than that, aren't we? Yeah, well, 34. So that's the overnight situation, and the up, and let's just do this again. And then the potential downside, of course, is you've got to take out the previous day's high, the close, the DP, the 38% retracement, and then down, long way down to the low. At the moment, you've got 100 points, over 100, and about 140 points down to the low there. So yeah, that's the bigger picture. Let's have a quick look at the Dow. This too trying to move back to the all-time high, which I will put back on the chart, which I obviously removed yesterday and not saved. So let me just save this so I don't have to keep repeating this. So prices, heading back to the all-time highs. No doubt will be done today when Powell speaks, if not before, for the Dow there. Meanwhile, in yesterday's session, if we have a look at this in a bit more depth, we can see that they managed to bring the market back in the futures market. This then retraced. You can see that that's around about 62-78% retracement before going back up to create a double top. And then let's fast forward into what happened yesterday. Let's just move up. So the market moved sharply lower to begin with, and then found some supports, turned around and started to come back, which we can see there. Again, you've got this battle going on initially with prices finding support, and then I'm just going to fast forward through this. Then we come back, and that stopped the up move as prices attempted to get above the close. Then we had a potential sell there, and what I've done here is mark up again from the high to the low just to see where prices we're going to come back to. You can see the 62 is at the entry price, then you've got the 78, 89, and then you'll have the low across here that the market will need to drive through in order to move lower there. So prices do fill, and fortunately continue to move to the downside there, as we can see. And then watch this. I decided to pull at this stage, as you'll see, because we got that support to the left, and they don't want the market to move lower. And you'll see there the buying coming into the market and holding prices at this level. So then you'll see prices reverse, and I'm again going through this quickly. I've drawn the fibs in up and down just so I could see where the market is. And then Lagarde was speaking, and it was a case of do we stay in or get out, and I decided to jump ship just in case she said something negative. So it was a case of get out at break even, and then the market came back. Nice buying pressure bar here, which you can see, and then of course the market trading very, very quietly while Lagarde spoke, and then started to cheer up and then move to the upside there, but not for long before prices then started to move lower. And again, you can see in this bar here 80% of the volume of the previous bar, and then this starts to move to the downside as well. So prices just trade sideways, come back down to the close, and the reason for this, of course, was the impeachment proceedings from the US. And again, I'm just fast forwarding through here because there's nothing to see in the afternoon. The market really quiet as the impeachment discussion went on, and you can see there just small back and forth trades being stopped by selling coming into the market. So absolutely nothing to report there for the afternoon. Not any signals, but there's the odd thing in there where you can see again you've got more or less the same volume there as prices are pulled back, and there'll be all sorts of subtle ones like this one here as well. You can see this where the volume's greater. You can see retracements in here as well to 89% that are prior to this, and then once prices close below they move lower till they're picked up here. I mean, you can still read every individual price bar, but there was no great move following it, so I'm not going to go through the subtleties of each price bar there. So that's how the afternoon panned out, and in fact I decided to leave the desk because it was just doing nothing. And if you stay, what you could find is that you start to trade when there's nothing to actually trade. So it's a good part of discipline is to say, do you know what, I'm actually going to walk away or turn it off, one or the other. Okay, that's it for this one. Hopefully we'll see a bit more activity today given what is proposed with Biden, and we'll get a bit of a move to the upside here back to those all-time highs. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.